Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Jewelry can say many things on your wedding day. As a wedding band, it can say, "This is a forever symbol of our forever love." As a gift to your wedding party, it can say, "Thanks for standing up there with us." Blue Nile can help you find the piece that says it all and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, your host, Stephen Wallace. I hope you enjoyed our 2 Royal Ascot shows. If you missed 96-year-old Ron Hutchinson recall his 1974 Ascot Gold Cup win in episode 273, do check the podcast's archive. Today we have a mixture of both sports as I return to the home of racing to talk local cricket in my case with Newmarket Cricket Club players Ollie Green and their new overseas player from Perth, Australia, 21-year-old Kyle Cosson. The pair update us on the progress of Newmarket Cricket Club, who moved grounds to Dullingham at the end of the 2022 season. In addition, the club is shortly due to play their annual charity match against a racing and trainers 11, which is set to feature some of Newmarket's leading trainers. A bit of everything for you in today's show. Hello, Ollie and Kyle. Welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to have us on.
Well, it's the third time I think I've featured Newmarket Cricket Club. The first time it was Mark Nunn and Maxford, and the second time it was Connor Hotham, who's now, he told me last night, working at Roger Varian. So we've got that racing connection for a cricket club in Newmarket Cricket Club, and it's been going well so far this season, Ollie.
Yes, go very well. As a club, on and off the field, to be honest. We've gone through a lot of transitions over the last couple of years. And yeah, the ones are doing really well. They're 1 point off top. And then the twos are also second. A Sunday team are unbeaten. The midweek twos are second. And so are the midweek ones, just 1 point off top. So yeah, it's going very well on the field as a whole, as the club, and also off it with, a big transition over the last couple of years. We're just going from strength to strength, to be honest. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, we're going to come on to the move to Dullingham. But Ollie, the club's only been going a few years, so lots of progress in that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the club was set up in 2020 during COVID. I suppose you probably heard it before, so I won't go into that too much. But yeah, so it's only been going, I think this is our 4th season now. So I've been involved in it for 3 seasons. So yeah, it's amazing what we've done in terms of the chairman, Frank, and Mark Nunn as well as vice chairman. It's incredible what they've done, to be honest. And hopefully year on year, we just go from strength to strength and, improve every aspect of the cricket club in terms of the cricket. We've started juniors up and that's going really well. And then we've got a big event, the Trainers' Day, which we'll of course come on to later. So yeah, it's going really well. So yeah, very happy with it.
Let's hear more about the first 11. Carl, you've come all the way from Perth to play for Newmarket. You've had a good start yourself to the season.
Yeah, one of the biggest, I guess, things coming to a new country and a new club is obviously you want to impress. And coming through the first few games, obviously getting to know everyone, they've been very welcoming, which is always good. It's obviously another thing that's quite hard transitioning into a club is obviously getting to meet everyone, getting to know the club. But yeah, no, it's been quite easy, to be honest. Obviously doing well helps. Kind of gets you to get on with everyone a little bit easier. It's been amazing so far. The 10 weeks I've been here, I've loved every moment of it.
Yeah, league so far in the first team, you played 9, you had 1 cancelled, you won 6, lost 2, and you're 1 point behind the leaders. And I've looked up on Play Cricket, and you've scored 237 league runs at 37, but an impressive strike rate of 130.
Yes, I do like to hit the ball very hard. Has cost me slightly. I've broken a few bats already, but it's going well. As I said, it's always good to get a good start to the season, and obviously coming to the business end of the season. So obviously had the game rained off against 2 weeks ago against Castor. That was obviously a really important game for us, but obviously got to the weekend and got the job done quite convincing in the end. But it's obviously you can't get too complacent with these things, and you just have to go week by week and play to your strengths.
Yeah, Castor at the moment are the leaders of the Onyx Cricket Cambs and Hunts League Premier Division 2, which Newmarket are now in. Who have been the standout players, apart from yourself, Carl, in the first 11 so far?
There's been a few. The good thing about the team so far, from my aspect, is there's not been too many individual performances. Obviously, individual performances are always good, but there's just been guys chipping in where we've needed it. So obviously Nunny's bowled really well. We've had a lot of guys contribute with ball and bat. Obviously Max has been really, really good the last probably month or so. We just had guys chip in at really important times when we've needed it. So as a club, for the first team, I think we're doing really well in terms of not trying to rely on anyone as such. Obviously there's, you batter, you want to be doing as much as you can. As a bowler, you want to be doing as much as you can. So we're not trying to rely on too much. Everyone's chipping in, which is good. So we're having really all-round solid performances, and that obviously will reflect on our ladder position at the moment. But as I said, we're trying not to get too complacent and just take it game by game.
Yeah, again, looking at the stats, Maxford, who's played some high-level cricket himself and has been on this podcast before, is averaging 54, and Mark Nunn is leading the way with the ball with 15 league wickets. Yeah,
no, he's bowled really well. Been a little unlucky at times. I guess you do get that with bowling. Some days you're on and some days you aren't. So you just got to take the best with both worlds. Max has been really good, as I said. Everyone's just chipping in where we've needed it to. Every game there's someone else. It's someone else's opportunity, and that's I think that's really good as well. Is there are people that are taking that opportunity each game. It's not always the same person. So I think we're building a really, really strong coming weeks to really push this side.
Oh, that's good to hear. Ollie, how you found that Carl has fitted in at the club?
Oh, it's been brilliant. Yeah, he's been brilliant. Not just on the pitch as well. I don't really get to see that playing in the second team in terms of on the Saturday with the serious cricket, but him fitting into the club has been brilliant, and off the field just as much as on. His contributions, at the ground and at social events and stuff. And from my perspective, it can't be easy travelling all the way around the world, meeting people that you've never met before, and he's fitted in straight away. So he's been brilliant.
Yes, how does a young man from Perth finish up at Newmarket?
Well, it's interesting. I obviously got quite an ambition for horses and racing back home. So I just thought it was, a bit of an opportunity to get over, and obviously Newmarket being kind of the stable for it. Thought I'd get myself over, and obviously, got over, and Newmarket being a cricket club obviously tied into that. Work's been fairly comfortable with that. So get to play obviously with the guys from Newmarket, obviously during the week on Wednesdays and both Saturdays, Sundays. That's really, really been amazing that got the opportunity to come over and play as well as work. So, as I said, I've loved every moment so far, minus the weather. It's been a little cold. It's slightly adapting to that. Today is very nice, so I'm looking forward to the warmer weather.
We're recording here at the end of June. We're supposed to be in this heat wave, as they say on TV, but I'm sure you wouldn't consider this a heat wave in Perth.
Yes and no. It's slightly different. Heat wave, I heard the other day, was 22, so I guess you take that to your own accord. But heat wave for us back home is about 45, so slightly different. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying the warmer weather, definitely, for sure.
Expand a bit on your love of horse racing and connection with horse racing.
Yeah, so a few of my good mates back home, one of their dads has got a massive stake in horses, and a few of the guys from obviously the cricket club back home playing have got stakes in horses. So I've always loved, horses, greyhounds. Always loved racing, and just thought I've always wanted to go to England. Sadly, the Ashes on last year, so I couldn't come over to watch that as well. But I got over and spoke to a few guys, and ended up, through racing, through a few of the guys who actually play for the club, they just said, come down, play, and I've loved every bit of it so far. It's just got into it here, and it's been amazing so far.
Have you been to the races yet?
I've not been to the races yet, funny enough. However, I've seen obviously the July course. I did have the opportunity to go to Ascot during the recent week, but wasn't able to. But it's definitely something that's on my bucket list of a few things to do whilst I'm here.
Coming later in today's show, find out all the details about the club's annual charity match against the Racing and Trainers 11 on Sunday the 14th of July. What does Kyle think about the prospect of facing Chalie Fellows bowling? And learn about the important racing charity the club is supporting. Don't forget, if you like the show, to subscribe to the podcast, probably the only podcast which covers cricket and horse racing. Now let's get back to Ollie to discover more about the club's move 4 miles down the road from Newmarket to Dullingham. Moving on then, Ollie, to you. As we said earlier, the club moved from Newmarket to Dullingham a couple of seasons ago. Am I right in saying you're the groundsman?
I am, yeah. I'm one of two groundsmen, yeah. So, it's been pretty full on, to be honest, the last couple of years. We officially signed the lease in September 2022. Is that right? Yeah, 2022. So this is our second season at Dullingham. It was derelict. The ground was pretty much derelict anyway. The pavilion was not in a good state. And between us and Dullingham Parish Council, we turned it round in the space of 3 or 4 months at the start of the year in 2023. It's had a lot of work doing to it, a lot of parties involved. But I actually had a friend come up and watch on Saturday who used to play for Dullingham, and he couldn't believe what it looks like now compared to what it did 5 years or so ago. So it's a project, and it's an ongoing project as well. We've got big plans for the club. But it's only just the start, but it's incredible what we've managed to do so far.
I must say, having been there in early May, you've really made some progress there. Is the wicket settling down? Is the wicket playing well?
It's getting there. Give us a couple more years and hopefully it'll be a bit better. But no, it's playing all right. It just depends. Because it wasn't looked after for the last 10 years, because Dullingham used to have a really good team, but it sort of faded away about 9 years ago. So it was only played in midweek. So it's getting there. A lot of hard work's been put in by a lot of players and myself and Nigel. So hopefully, it's starting to show that it's easier to bat on. I'd say T20 pass score is probably around 170 now. So, I'm pretty happy with it in the 2 years that we've been there anyway. So, yeah.
Well, it's bound to take a while to come round if it hasn't had that care and attention, which it's now getting.
Exactly that. That's exactly it. It just wasn't looked after, unfortunately. The people in the village did the best they could, but the standard that we now play at, it takes a lot of work and, a lot of care to keep in good condition all year round as well, not just in the summer, but in the winter. So, it's showing already. Just if you look at how it was playing last year compared to this year, it has changed. So hopefully it keeps going in the right direction.
And having had myself tea in the pavilion, you must have done an enormous work to the pavilion.
A lot of work, and that was all in the space of about 8 weeks as well. It's incredible what ourselves and Parish Council managed to do, sort of working together. It was completely gutted. A new umpires room was put in, a new storage room was put in, then new flooring, a new kitchen. The changing rooms were all repainted, and new shower was put in. So that was all in the space of about 8 weeks, from February through to March. So a lot of work's been done, it's just incredible, really. If you're looking back at it now, it's pretty amazing.
Sounds like you had a lot of support from the council and presumably from businesses in the local area.
Yeah, we've been so lucky. The Dullingham Parish Council are behind us as well, which is the most important thing. We've got big plans for the club, and they're behind us, which is exactly what you need as a cricket club. And local businesses have been, instrumental. At the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to run the cricket club if it wasn't for our sponsors. So we've got a lot of new sponsors this year, and we're doing really well. We've essentially pitched what we've done and what we want to do moving forward, and they're on board. And we're trying to create a community of sponsors that, are willing to help us and just drive the club on, not only in terms of adult cricket, but junior cricket, women's cricket. We've got big plans, and at the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to do it without the Parish Council and the sponsors that we've got. So it's been brilliant.
That's an important point, because a lot of cricket clubs in the local area are struggling with not putting teams out, whereas at Newmarket, clearly it's flourishing.
Yeah, I think people are bought into what the club are trying to do, to be honest. It's a community club, and we want to make an impact on the local area. And I think people are coming up and seeing what we're trying to do. And in terms of what the ground looks like now, people, we're telling them the story we've just said. Is, look, 2 years ago, this place was pretty much derelict, and now they can actually see the improvements that are being made, and people just want to buy into that, to be honest. And we've got a good community of players, and I think this year as well, like Kyle was saying earlier about the first team, in terms of there's not a standout player, across the season. It's pretty similar through every team. I think we're playing as a team, and I think that's because what we've built over the last couple of years. So not only are we proving off the pitch, but on the pitch, I think that's coming into it as well. If that makes sense.
That must make it a lot easier for you, Carl, with the sort of family atmosphere around the club.
Yeah, no, it does. It makes everything a lot easier especially to fit in. That's one of the hardest things is, when you come to a new country or you go somewhere new, you're not obviously used to the environment of things. It can be quite hard to get used to, obviously, meeting new people, fitting in, and obviously doing well is a main part as a cricketer, playing in that team. Obviously the club's been amazing in terms of welcoming me as a player on and off the field. We've had a few social events that have been absolutely amazing. Everyone's bought into that, which is something that's spectacular. But as I said before, it's just been really wholesome in terms of how they've welcomed me and made it really, really easy for me to step into the club.
Hey, it's Chalie Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
And Ollie, you had a junior county match also at Newmarket.
Yes, we did. We hosted Norfolk versus Middlesex schools at the start of June. No, middle of May. We hosted that. I was unfortunately on holiday. I was a bit gutted about that, but it went really well, and the Middlesex schools were really impressed. So apparently they want to come back. It shows what we're doing at the club. To be honest, the fact that we've been at the ground. This is our second season, and they're happy with it. Says a lot about it, really. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, that certainly does. If you can get the likes of Middlesex along to the Dullingham sports field.
Yeah, exactly that. It's a strange one. So technically, Middlesex are at home, and because they can't go into London because of the for various reasons, they sort of reached out to us, and it's sort of right in the middle between us and London and Norfolk. So it's brilliant the fact that the county like that are happy with what we provided them. It's really good.
All that work on social media must help.
Yeah. Mark Nunn does a really good job with that. It's a hard gig keeping up with all social media. It's a lot of work. So it's good.
And talking of social media, you've got a big match on Sunday, the 14th of July, against the Racing and Trainers 11, which is an annual event. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we're very lucky in Newmarket being connected with the racing industry. So we're playing the Trainers 11. It's featuring some of the big trainers in Newmarket. William Jarvis sort of heads it up and has been helping organise it with us. So we've got a big opportunity. This is the fourth year that it's going. We've got a bar, barbecue, silent auction. It's a native charity as well. We just want to get as many people down as possible. It was a really, really good day last year. We'll be playing for the Jordan Smith Memorial Cup, who is one of our players that sadly passed away last year in the week leading up to the event, actually. It was a brilliant turnout last year, and we just want to sort of make it bigger and better every year. It's going to be a good day. So if anyone around the local area wants to pop up, sort of gates open at 12. It should be good.
How many overs is the game?
So it's 30 overs a side. So it's not too short, but not too long, if that makes sense. Sort of in the middle ground. It's 30 overs a side. To be honest, the trainers are a good team as well. They play every couple of weeks and play different villages and stuff. So, it should be a good game.
Yeah, I heard from Connor Hotton, one of your players, and he says that George Boughey, the classic winning trainer, is quite a good bat.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. It's strange from my perspective. You see these trainers on the TV and doing interviews on ITV Racing and at the races, etc. And it's a bit strange seeing them doing something else other than that. And when they can actually bat, as you said, George Boughey is a decent batter and bowler as well. It's a bit strange, but it's really good to see. And I think it's sort of, from our perspective, it brings the local community a bit closer to those sort of people. Seeing them, sort of bat well and bowl well in a different sport other than what they do. So they can certainly all play cricket, and they gave us a really good game last year as well, which is sort of good for everyone in terms of the spectators, us, and of course them. So it was they're good.
Charlie Fellows also plays as well, or has played.
Yes, he does. Yeah. I think he opened the bowling last year from memory and bowled really well. Got Charlie Fellows, Thady Gosden, Ed Dunlop. Quite a good selection of players, and they've really bought into what we're trying to do in terms of the charity day. So it wouldn't surprise me if even more names showed up this year. It's been really good.
Joining us now on the podcast is the Vice Chairman of Newmarket Cricket Club and the Captain of Newmarket First 11, Mark Nunn. It is Mark Nunn's house, so quite reasonable that he should join us. And Mark, what are the charities that you're supporting on Sunday the 14th of July?
So it's the Newmarket Housing Trust, which is it's a new charity that's been set up, formed to ensure that the horse racing community in Newmarket can provide suitable and affordable accommodation to the racing staff that work in the town. So the first project will be a construction of an accommodation block on the British Racing School site, specifically designed for young staff between the ages of 16 and 18. So these young staff are essential for the future of the sport, and Newmarket is the world's leading training centre, and there is currently a real shortage of suitable accommodation for this age group. So it's fairly a new one that's been set up, but it's been basically endorsed and promoted by the trainers. So it's something that they're real keen to get out there, and something that we're very proud to support.
So a very worthy cause for Newmarket, and the trainers must be really pleased to be involved in such a cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I mean they've driven the project, so it's something that they spoke to us about. Last year we had the racing welfare. In fact, we had them for 2 years, and then the first year we had East Anglian Air Ambulance. So it's only sort of fitting to move it on to another charity, and this one has fallen in perfectly, really, for sort of everyone connected to the game.
Carl, just talking about the game, you must be looking forward to facing bowlers like George Boughey and Charlie Fellows.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's you have to concentrate a lot harder, because when they get you out, they do celebrate quite a lot in comparison to, say, like a normal game. So there's quite a bit riding on it, and there's a little bit of banter after the game about it as well. So they're actually really a really good side, because they're sort of unpredictable a little bit, because you don't think that they play that much, but they're actually got good skills. I think a lot of them have sort of played at private schools before, so it's actually quite a challenging game, and we always have a close one. It's always sort of won by maybe 20 runs, 25 runs. So we expect another close one this year. Hopefully we can get over the line there.
I see Kyle, the captain, comes in and asks your questions there. What do you think? How are you looking forward to facing Charlie Fellows and George Boughey?
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, as Mark obviously touched on before, you are not used to seeing these guys playing cricket, or they have played cricket in the past, and they're not so renowned for their cricketing ability. But I'm definitely intrigued to see how they go on the day. I've been told all about it. It's definitely something that I'm extremely looking forward to. Ideally, don't want to be getting out to one of the trainers, but I'm definitely looking forward to a few guys I've obviously looked up to in the racing industry, and have obviously loved watching over the last few years. So I'm definitely looking forward to the day as a whole. I've been told all about it, and obviously the last few years that they've hosted the charity event, I couldn't be any more pleased to be a part of it as well.
Thank you all for being on this podcast. It's the first time I think I've had someone come in as late as Mark has. And while Mark's here, I must get his reaction to how the season's going.
It's actually gone really well, Stephen. Not just the first team, we currently sit second, 1 point behind top, but also the second team, they're currently third. The Sunday side are first and unbeaten, and the midweek side sit currently second, and also in a cup final to come. So so far in the first half of the season, I don't think it could have gone much better. So we're very pleased with it so far.
Thank you. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Kyle. And thank you, Mark. The very best of luck for the rest of the season. Hope you get promotion in the first team and in the other teams, of course. And the very best of luck for the charity match against the Racing and Trainers 11 on Sunday, the 14th of July. And remind us again, Ollie, on the start time of that match.
It's 12 o'clock, gates open, so hope to see as many people there as possible. Stephen, if you're welcome to come if you'd like. We'd love to have you. But it's 12 o'clock. The game starts a bit later than that, but hopefully we're expecting quite a few people there, so get there a bit early. But it should just be a great day all round for the community of Newmarket to watch a bit of good cricket and see some of the people they've looked up to play cricket as well. So it should be a good day.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Social Podcast Network.
What is chronic migraine?
It's 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not approved for adults with migraine who have 14 or fewer headache days a month. Ask your doctor about Botox.
Botox is a prescription medicine injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Talk to your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.